Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Money Hungry Mama podcast. I am so excited because I have VanessaRose here today. VanessaRose, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Money Hungry Mamas. I am thrilled to be here. Brittany, thank you so much for having me. This is absolutely a treat. And I'm so humbled to be here, so I can't wait to get started.
I am so excited that you're here. So, VanessaRose is the owner of Pumpkinly Prints. Can you tell us about your business?
Sure. Is essentially a happy, cheerful little place that's focused about special events, weddings, celebrations, and just celebrating all of those happy moments, taking the time to make those moments mean something. I specialize in custom invitations, event design, and other means of celebrating those special moments in your life.
So how did this all start?
Okay, so once upon a time, I was sitting in a cubicle in a corporate office while going to college and realized I hate cubicles and corporate offices. So I said, this is not for me. I waited until college senior year tuition was cleared from the company and said, bye, I'm going to go now. And I went into elementary education and I lived 19 years as an elementary educator. This little morsel of happiness grew in college and in the background while I was teaching with a lot of, hey, I need this happen. Can you do this? Sure. Hey, I'm going to have a party. You're a great host. Can you help? Sure. And it slowly grew and grew and grew across the last 20 years. So it started while I was in a cubicle. It grew while I was in a classroom. And now I don't do either of those things. I'm exclusively confetti and celebrations. And so here it is. This is now all of it, all of me, just this. So
that is really exciting. Okay, so I love that you went with one direction and then completely went to elementary. And then you just have like such a voice and a look for it. Like if you guys go to YouTube, you'll see her. She's adorable. Like you're the perfect elementary school teacher. And I just think it's so cool that this grew alongside all of that. So I also, guys, want you to hear what she said when she said that people were asking her, like, you're such a great host. Like, can you do this? Like, the business built because people were telling her what she was good at. I love that.
It's hard to listen to when you think you're supposed to be doing something else.
Mm-hmm. We're very stubborn. Like, that's what we could say as humans. Like, we're like, no, like, this is not what I'm supposed to do. It can't be this easy. Like, I need to stay doing what I was told to do. I love that. So what was the very first thing that you sold?
I'm going to say the very first thing was wedding invitations.
Okay.
For a colleague's daughter who was having at the time what they considered like an offbeat wedding and couldn't find anything in the early 2000s. What do we call those? The aughts, whatever we call those years now. Was looking for something unconventional, couldn't find it. And they came to me quietly and said, you're really good at computer stuff. I don't know what computer stuff means, but and I heard you do a thing. Can you help my daughter? Yep, I can. And it was just went to their house, brought a bunch of things and a sketchbook, and it turned into these wedding invitations that they really, really wanted. At the time, the beginning was a lot of parties and fundraisers and little things. And that was the first thing. Walking away from that experience and seeing my little weird bag of tricks totally changed this couple's ability to capture their vision and have the wedding they wanted. Huge. Your heart grows and grows in a way that you can't describe when you bring joy to someone else by simply just being you and doing your thing. So.
Oh my gosh, that's so beautifully said. It's so true. It is so true. Now, okay, so if I'm tracking this correctly, this is pre-Canva. This is you designing completely on your own. Tell us how you design.
Yeah, so I actually, don't laugh, everyone. I don't know how to use Canva. I don't. I had to recently use a template for this other project. And I was like, friends, what is this? What is this thing? So I am Photoshop stan for life. In the very beginning, I used to use what I like to call the poor man's Photoshop. And that is PowerPoint, because if you don't know that PowerPoint can manipulate graphics, that's what it's designed for. So in the way, way back days, PowerPoint, I was literally designing and doing graphic design on PowerPoint. People have just their souls have left their body if they're in the industry. But I am a PowerPoint person. I am a Photoshop person, excuse me, not even Illustrator, which gives people the ick. I love Photoshop. I use Photoshop for things you're not supposed to use it for. But that's my jam.
Wow. And now do you like actually draw some of your invitation stuff, like some of the pieces and things on it too?
So for a lot of it, I do. I sometimes will find a pre-existing artwork and then manipulate it because I don't ever want my couple to see something and be like, oh, was that an Etsy template? Like, no, it wasn't. Like, no disrespect to anyone who does those amazing templates. But the point of sitting with me is that we sit for a session and all your ideas go in the big blue book and then it gets crafted for you. So I really do like to draw as much as possible. Sometimes I make custom fonts for my couples and clients. Like if they love some of a font, but their letter is a J and it looks wonky, I will Frankenstein things together. Like I really love it to feel as special as they are.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. So what I love about already your business that's different than probably, I want to say like 90% of the other printable businesses is that you're like handcrafting these things. Like you're really manipulating the pieces and making them your own and sitting with them and taking the design. So it's way less passive in a sense, right? Like when you talked about the Etsy templates, what she's referring to is if you go to Etsy and you search a birthday party template, right? You're going to be able to just download it on Canva or usually Canva and then be able to put the names in. What VanessaRose does is so beautifully different because she's tailoring it to each person that none of them are the same.
Yes. And
So
I love it.
that.
It's wonderful that those templates exist in the world, right? Because
For
everyone
sure.
has an entry point. Some people need custom-ish where they
Mhm.
want to tweak a few things. And then those templates are phenomenal. I love that they're there. Some people can invest in truly custom. And what I love is that I give my clients the ability, especially for celebrations, non-wedding celebrations, you can combine themes that you don't think would ever go together, like beautiful florals and disco or, Italian, but Love Shack fancy. I can do that. So sometimes clients come and they're like, we're really stuck between three. I'm like, let's do it. Let's do it all
Yeah.
together. Let's do gorgeous baby shower, but make it spooky 90s kitschy Halloween. Done. I can do all of that because I'm just going to sit like a mad scientist and make it all work.
I love those combinations. Like everything that you said, I'm like, you would never think of them together. And now I'm like, wait, they probably look really cute.
But they work. Go on my Instagram. I've done it. I have done some things that should not fit and I make it fit.
I love that. Okay, so we heard your backstory and now you're here, but you've been at this for 20 years. So I really think that you know a lot about the marketing game in a sense of how marketing has changed from 20 years ago to now.
Yes.
What was marketing like when you started versus now?
So in the very beginning, what people couldn't understand was, how do you not have a storefront? How do you not have a shop? How am I not physically going to a place to see you? What do you mean you come to me or we'll meet at it was still very home-based. I have a studio, but it didn't fit the mold. So my thought for everyone is just, there are no rules on what that mold needs to be. Marketing is what you make of it. Your presence in your community, in your industry, in your field is what you make of it. And you don't have to do what everybody else is doing just because they do it that way, because that's your opportunity to stand out. Like other people had shops with books and catalogs. And I was like, I know a girl, she's going to come to your house with all the papers and all kinds of samples. I was like a traveling salesman at one point, depending on whatever people wanted and whatever worked. People were doing mailings. People were doing advertisement in magazines. People were paying for the knot. Don't do that. And they like all these other things that you try it and you say, well, there's no return on investment here. So what am I doing? And I really just pulled it all in and said, you know what? My work is my marketing. I am my marketing. Working with me is the thing. So I'm just going to let myself speak for myself. And it was Facebook at first. And, the rise of social media really did that. It was word of mouth recommendations. And then I started a referral policy where it was like, well, if you refer me, I have something for you for next time you're celebrating and I have something for them. And just building be your own marketing, be your own advocate, because you don't have to do what other people are doing.
I love that. And then how would you say that your marketing looks now?
So I'm still very true to that referral focus and the fact that like I do let my work speak for itself. I never want to be inauthentic. There are some aspects of what I do that are very saturated in terms of there's tons of event planners out there and tons of people who offer wedding support services. I like to make sure that my identity is myself and I'm never disingenuous to what that is. So I'm not making TikTok reels and I'm not dancing, even though that works for a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's not the person I want my clients thinking they're getting. Every once in a while, I'll make a video or I'll do something fun, but it's about my work. It's about the craft. It's about that elevated experience of client care. And I'm going to answer you at 2 a.m. when you're texting me in panic, but I'm not dancing. I think it's about letting the work shine for itself and being present there and letting it organically come out that working with me is about working with me, who I am and what I bring to the table and do for you, and not just jumping on a trend, even though those work for other people.
For sure.
I want to be a good fit with my clients, so I have to be myself.
I think that is so true. And we talk about it a lot on here that, you know, just because something is working for somebody else does not mean it's going to work for you, right? Like it just doesn't. It just doesn't mean that if somebody is doing, 6, 7 TikTok shop videos in a row and telling you they're making all this money and you're like, well, I'll try to do that too. It doesn't mean that that's your fit. And I think that's what's so important about hearing all these different businesses and hearing your stories, because all of them are so different. Like you can't fit a hustle into one mold. It really is dependent on the person and who they are and what they can do, right? So I love that. Raise your hand if you're planning a family vacation. Sounds almost as exhausting as the vacation itself. Yeah, me too. That's why I want you to know about the summer sponsor, Wishes Family Travel with Sue. Sue is a Disney earmarked travel agent who plans stress-free trips for real families. And she's especially wonderful with young kids and food allergies, so nothing slips through the cracks. Disney World, Disney Cruise Line, all-inclusive resorts, even honeymoons. She handles every little detail so you actually get to relax, because your time together is precious, and it should feel magical, not overwhelming. Adventure is out there, and Sue can help you plan yours. Follow her on Instagram at Wishes Family Travel with Sue. And remember, she's free to use. So thank you for bringing that up. What is something that you purchased for your business that you were like wanting to scream from the rooftop to let every mom know that she needs for her business?
Okay, so this is a thing. Disclaimer, like a lot of mompreneurs or whatever we call ourselves here, I have a hard time getting things for myself because I'm constantly trying to take care of everybody else. But there was a thing that I kind of wanted and I was able to get it. It is a skylight calendar. Okay, now, just so we're all clear, I am a paper calendar girl. I am a paper girl by heart. This is a multi-year calendar. I live by this. This is my Bible. Everything goes in here. However, I did get a skylight and it just helps when I have 250,000 other people's schedules to manage. I have children. I have a husband with an insane schedule. I'm talking 24-hour notice and he's gone for 3 weeks at some
Oh my gosh.
It's wild in this house sometimes. So having that skylight is a game changer. And I danced around wanting it. And my husband was like, I'm pulling this Band-Aid off for you. I know you need this and you want this. Life changer. Everything is together. It's in one central location. Every member of the household can see it, can check in on it, can modify things. But then I can give organization to the masses in terms of where I am, who I'm with, where I need to be, all of it. It is elite.
I love it so much. Like, I'm pretty sure maybe like 2 episodes before this got brought up, and we know my love for this calendar. Like, my favorite thing of the whole entire thing is that you could take a picture. So like my daughter had this end of the year and the teacher listed out 10 days of like what they were doing. All I had to do was take a picture of the email and it just put it in with the times and the things that I needed to bring in. And I was like, what are you, heaven?
I am about to do that after this because the first grader came home with a list of, here's all the things we're going to do next week because we go to school through next Friday here where we live.
Wow.
So it's a whole fiesta of things to remember next week. And I can't wait to just and it's going to go right in, and
It's
I'm going to
amazing.
know what outfits we need and what to bring to school, and it's going to tell me on my phone, and I love it.
I love it. I love it so much. Honestly, 10 out of 10, guys. There is nothing I can say negative about that dang
No
calendar. I
notes.
love it so
No
much.
notes. Perfection. Perfection. Has to be
Hmm.
made by a mom. I need the income. There's no way this is not a mom. No way.
I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up after this now and be like, who made Skylight? Because I honestly think that you're accurate on
Has
that
to be a mom.
because it's just perfect.
Yes.
There's literally no flaws to it. I'm obsessed with it. And also what I love too is that you could put like their like, oh my gosh, why chores? Oh,
Yep.
why could I not think of
I
the
love
word?
it.
You could put chores in there, and then the kids love to give themselves stars. Like
Love
my
to
daughter
see that.
actually folded laundry. She's only 5, and she literally sat there and she was like, "If I do this, will I get stars?" I'm like, "You don't have to do it. I'm doing it." And she's like, "But if I do it, like, can I get stars?" And I was like, "Okay."
Yes.
I only had to fix like 3 things. I was like, I love this calendar.
It's wonderful. Yes. They all of a sudden they want to do, I have boys, which boys do chores, but they, it's a little different. They
Yeah, I
don't
have 2
like,
boys too.
yeah. So they, well, Mom, I'm going to wash the dishes, but can you add that on there? So I'm like, sure can, buddy. I'm feeding the dog in the morning, but that's not on there for a start. I go, give me a second. Yes, it is. And it motivates everyone.
I love it. I love it so much.
I
10
love
out of
that it
10.
connects to everything. So it's on your phone, your Google Calendar, your calendar. I use Zcal. I use it all, just seamless integration is key.
100%. And like when you think about you in business, guys, like taking a picture of your invitation or a networking night that you're doing or whatever it is, all you have to do is take a picture and it's on your calendar and your whole family knows where you're going to be at what time. Nobody can be like, you didn't tell me, even though you told them 17 times, but they just chose not to listen to it. Like this calendar saves lives. I'm convinced.
It does. Well,
convinced.
Absolutely. It saves households for sure. For sure. Because there's no gray area. It's here. Everyone can see it and you have push notifications coming to you.
I love it. Okay. So I'm going to get a little bit more personal in the creative business side. One of my questions is you have been in this space for 20 years, right? And I am sure you have seen a lot of businesses come and go throughout that time. What do you think is a major downfall that creative businesses have when all of a sudden they stop?
So a couple of things come to mind. One thing that I have noticed recently, I'm going to liken it to when you overinflate a balloon and then it pops. Like it looks like it's going to be great. It's going to be full. It's going to be great. And then it just pops. It's growing before you're ready. So in some cases, I've seen that look like I offer wedding planning and balloons and I chocolate dip. I'm just going to talk about my industry because this is where I see it. So I do event planning and I do your balloons and I do your chocolate dipping and I'm going to change the oil in your car and I'll paint your house and I'm also going to dress you and I'm going to style you and I'll brush your hair and I'll do your makeup too. And then I'm going to go grocery shopping for you. More is not always more. More is not always better. That's not the same as expanding, where thriving businesses expand, add services, extend services, offer more. I've grown with things that maybe feel like maybe they don't go, but they do if you look holistically. So I think the determination to grow without a vision or a real identity is a downfall. If you're good at lots of things, it is amazing to offer lots of things. But maybe some of those things should be quietly introduced, like soft launch them, give them to clients as they're working with you and build from your baseline of what you're offering rather than front loading that you now do 3 things, 10 things, 8 things, 5 things. I have bounce houses. I have ices. I do it's too much and people don't know who you are. And then you don't know who you are. And then you don't know how to be yourself. How are you authentically growing? How do you have an identity? What has become of you? Which you are you? You're already 2 people in a mom and a business, but now in your business, what are you doing? It's too much. It's too much growth out like roots of a tree, not in a good way. If that makes sense. And I don't know if I'm like saying that as articulate as I mean it, but it's growth is wonderful, but not when it's growth in 1,000 tentacles in different directions that are compromising you.
100%. 100%. Like everything you're saying is so valid because I call it like the excited bug. right? Like it's like you're starting, and I think that guys, this is true hand to God. This is why I think I tried 30 side hustles, because it was like, oh my God, that looks really fun. Oh my God, that looks fun. Oh, I'm sure I'd be really good at that. Like all these things look great, 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 great. And then the only thing you're doing is burning out yourself.
Yes.
When you are attracting 7,500 different people wanting to do a million different things, you're the one that's tired at the end of the day because you're not sticking true to truly what you like to do. And if you're not sure what that is yet, that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. You just need to kind of sit with yourself and be like, okay, at the end of the day, when I am exhausted, especially as moms, because we are, what is going to be a business that's going to make me want to keep posting? That's going to make me want to stay up at 10, 11, 12. It's going to want to keep me up at night to think about and do, because honestly, that's kind of where we're at, right? Like that's what it is in this mom business world. But honing in on your business in general. So like if it's prints, if it's wedding, if it's prints and you're starting with prints, I would start with one. And it's like, okay, attract all the wedding. But now, a year or two down the line, now you're going to add in baby invitations and baby showers. And it's like now your audience is growing with you still with prints. But like she said, if you're doing prints and you're doing grocery shopping and you're doing balloons and you just are overexerting yourself and spending your money in 1,000 different directions without having a true audience.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
And if somebody comes to you for prints and all of a sudden they're like, can you also draw up my contract for my divorce? Like, no, I can't do that because that's not my job. Like, this is my wheelhouse. This is where I stay. And knowing your lane and where to stay is going to be exponentially more valuable to you in the long run than just doing everything for everybody.
1,000%. So that lane comparison, right? We hear it all the time. Stay in your lane, stay in your lane. Right. In the beginning, you have to stay in your lane. Now, if you start getting, like for me, it was really invitations. And then people were asking, but I love your vision. Can you help me design the day? Can you help me design the day? That's when you take your lane, you stay in your lane, but you're going to expand it. And now it's a 2-lane road. And that's what you're going to do. But you're still on your road, but now it's a 2-lane road. And then if that turns into another thing that begins to come out organically in what you are offering, you can expand it. And maybe you have a 3-lane road, but you're still in your road. It's when you start making off-ramps that don't make sense to each other, or you're just trying to do too many things at once. How are you perfecting what you're offering to people if you are not giving yourself time to thrive in that lane, in that road, in that expansion? You're too many places. Absolutely go find your niche, find your happy moment, find your thing. And when it's time to expand, you will know. The universe will tell you. All of these people are telling you they want you to do their bridal shower because they love the care you're giving them for their wedding. Do it. Do bridal shower invitations. They want you to design their bridal shower because they love the way you see their vision. Do it. Your brides want you with them on wedding day because you are caring for them in a way that none of their other vendors are. Do it. But it's all branches off the same tree and not 9 different plants in your garden. Like I'm making a lot of weird analogies, but you understand what
they're
I'm
working.
saying.
They're working.
You've got to grow the way that makes sense.
100%. And you can't grow by promising a million different things. You
No.
can't. Like, because if you're talking about doing groceries and invitations and balloons, you're talking to 3 different people, right? That's why it's so important. And we talk about it all the time here is having your avatar, having who you're speaking to, pretending every single post you make is on a FaceTime, talking to your ideal client, and give her a name, right? Like mine's Jackie. Like I talk to Jackie with every single thing that I do. I have her down to her favorite coffee order, right? Like that is who I speak to. And in everything. And that didn't come over the first hustle or the second hustle or the third hustle. No, this is like a learned experience. And the whole point of this podcast is that if you are sitting here at day 1, you can hear these things that have been learned and save yourself years of gripe. Save yourself, all of the wrong mistakes because we've done them. Like we wouldn't be saying it if it wasn't something that we had done.
100%, 1,000%. And there are things that I used to do or used to offer that I don't anymore because I either found myself trying to do too many things at once or it just didn't make sense. So some of those are like super secret, hidden, like bonus rounds. Like, yes, if I have a client who knows that I will make them a denim jacket with the name on the back for the shower, yeah, I will do it. But I'm not posting out there that I'm making custom clothing and custom
Mm-hmm.
personalized items because that's someone else's world. I can do it, but it doesn't mean I have to, right? I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to
Mm-hmm.
do that. I would rather send you to someone who specializes in that. So I know that your things are absolutely pristine, and then I'll make a beautiful display out of them. Can I blow
I
up a
love it.
balloon? Yes. Are they going to be the most jankety, awful thing you've ever seen? Absolutely. So I am going to bring in a specialist who knows what they're doing. It's
100%.
about believing in yourself, but also being very honest with your self-awareness. If you need to try out lots of things to find your place, do it. Maybe do some of them more quietly than others. Find your bread and butter and then quietly sprinkle in like, oh, do you know I also do desserts? And I could do that, and then try it. And if it lands, then maybe you promote it. But give it time to cook quietly and simmer and test out the recipe before you just like hard launch, I do 18 things, because
100%.
you will then give the impression of, I don't know if it's unprofessionalism, unpolished if you're doing
Yeah.
too many things.
Yeah.
I have services I offer that I've been offering for a very long time that are not talked about on Instagram because I don't want to compromise my presence. And even I'm mindful of that polished presentation of,
100%.
what I do and what I don't do.
I love that. Yeah, no, it's so true. Work in the quiet, figure out what you truly want before you go launching to everybody. I think that is such great advice because it's really hard to come back and be like, nope, made a mistake. I actually don't want to do that, you know? So it's really good to work in the quiet and kind of go that way. So now I want to ask this fun question. I always am seeing themes for like kids' parties or birthday themes or whatever. Is there any that you could think of that have been so out of the box that it hasn't been like completely done on Pinterest yet?
Okay, let me think about this. I do love a good theme. I love a theme that's not like overdone. Or
Yeah,
I love when I catch a theme before it's happened. And
before the wave.
unfortunately, because we are in the evening time and my brain, I am a morning brain. Like, I did this really great themed invitation and some of the pieces for, it was an Italian feast, but like a street festival feast, like very gritty, old school Brooklyn on the street fair street before the Italianissimo craze kind of popped. So that was a really fun one. Like, I drew like an
That's so
old
cool.
plastic lawn chair, like, those white lawn chairs like old Italian men would sit in, and like this, if she sees this, she's going to know who it is. Hello, love. A stand with like the peppers, like exactly what it would look like if you walked into a Brooklyn street fair for one of the feasts and like picked up a bag of Zeppelis from somewhere. And that's was the whole vibe and vision of the day. And it was like the feast of this child. And it was awesome. I like an unexpected. So let me have a caveat with that. I like an unexpected that isn't forced. So I'm a little persnickety with this. Like, sometimes there are things where like, I feel like the theme should just be the event, right? So like communion should be a communion. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't also need to be another thing. Like, maybe save that for the birthday if there's a Knicks fan or a baseball fan. Like, I love it. I think it's great if you did that. Like, this is personal. This is me. This is not you. I love you. I don't judge. I listen. I don't judge. I love certain things to be the thing. So a
Mm-hmm.
christening, a communion, like, be the thing. Even a wedding. Like, I love a wedding to be a wedding. Maybe we don't necessarily need a theme for a wedding, but I love a little unexpected twist. Like, my son's communion was communion, but I snuck in all these little like references to it being the cup of life, which is like a church theme, but it was coffee, and there was a coffee bar and everyone got espresso cups. And so it was like this like tongue-in-cheek approach to getting that very religious toned thing in there, but then also having a little fun with it. So I love a theme that also is maybe a sidestep from the expected. I
Yeah.
have a clients who came, remember that Halloween baby shower? So like, that's
Yes.
one. They're fun. So she loves Halloween. It was in that season that the baby was going to be born. And so it was like this kitschy 90s Halloweeny, like the plastic pumpkin buckets were holding things, but
Cute.
beautiful flowers and like old books and like this romantic gothic with a kitschy twist Halloween theme where you walked in and you were like, this is an elevated baby shower, but it's still a little ooky spooky and Halloween is happening and we love this.
I
So that's
love
fun.
that.
And then when that little boy turned 1, they wanted to do Sesame, but not primary color Sesame Street Elmo. They were like, we watched Sesame Street when it was in the New York City barrios. That's what it was for us. So like, give us that Sesame. So I had like milk crates and a newsstand and Cookie Monster took over Mr. Hooper's store. And it was like all cookies in the storefront, but newspapers and New York coffee cups. You know what I'm talking about? Those like disposable, like very Chinese food looking things like that. So like not the warm and fuzzy now Sesame, but the Sesame that they had when they were kids, like things of that sort. It's like taking it, kind of twisting it on their head so it's not like anybody else's.
Yeah, that's so creative. I love that. I also like the Feast of the Kid. Like I've never heard of that. So that's really fun. That's really fun. Like I've never heard of that. That's a cool one. Oh my gosh. You know how your kids have 47 new outfits for summer and you're still rocking the same black tank top from 2019? Yeah, same. That's why I love this summer sponsor. Mom Shop Boutique, a mom-owned shop built by a mama who actually gets it. Trendy, wearable pieces that make you feel like yourself again. And here's the best part. They ship anywhere in the country, so you can fill your cart from the couch after bedtime. Free shipping on orders over $75. And use my code, MHM10, because trust me, it fills fast. Mauve Shop Boutique, where you come to feel like you, and as they say, see you in the fitting room. VanessaRose, what does being a money-hungry mama mean to you?
Okay, I'm super glad you asked this. So for me, being a money-hungry mama is about feeding your passion while you're fueling all the different parts of who you are. So it's like eating a well-balanced diet, right? You are feeding yourself by looking for experiences, opportunities, whether you're seeking them out or accepting them, that feed your passion in a positive way, but also don't conflict with your multiple identities. Because we are like, I said it before, we're like two-headed creatures. You are an entrepreneur, but you are a mom. So I've had experiences and opportunities come my way that are amazing for the business and terrible for the mama. And then there's been things that are great for the mama side, but it's like, but cool, you're also running a business. So being money hungry means looking for those opportunities, either accepting them or seeking them out, but only devouring them if they are going to be nourishing for your whole self. So be hungry, but eat healthy, because saying yes to everything is like eating that entire dozen donuts. It sounded like a really good idea when you started. But then someone's going to suffer if it's not nourishing and nurturing both sides of who you are, both heads of your creature. They can't be in
100%.
conflict.
Yeah, no, it's so true. I love that so much. And I think like that's why we talk so heavily here too about having a non-negotiable. Like, you know, I know for a fact that if I continuously post on Saturday and Sunday, my Instagram would do better. I know that. I'm very well aware. But I'm also a mom.
Yeah.
And I want to not be on my phone on Saturdays and Sundays. And that's going to be what I do. So it's going to be a slower growth, but I'm not willing to give up my non-negotiable. And that's why it's so important when I tell you guys, like, have your non-negotiables. If it's 5 to 8 p.m. every night, like how mine is to get the kids down and whatever, like, then have that. But to go after everything and try to do it all, it's the fastest way to burn out. Even if you love what you do and you love being a mom, like everything isn't, it's just not it. Like
No.
it's just not.
And I know that there's people who are going to watch this and they're saying to themselves, wait, go back. Didn't she just say she left like 2 other jobs to do? For me, being a money hungry mama meant walking away from money, walking away from a career, walking away from a very sustainable, constant income and paycheck with, you know, a major am I allowed to say where I am? Like I
Yeah.
live in New York City. So like I was a New York City public school teacher. That paycheck came on the button every 2 weeks and a day or whenever it was. I walked away from money to be more money hungry because for me, growing my own entity was giving me the ability to be a mom where my career or the career you're supposed to have, what were my kids getting? They were very little at the time. I went back at 8 weeks and 1 day after my first son. I was back 8 weeks and a few extra days with my second. They were getting a ghost of myself. They were getting nothing of me. So sometimes in little times, like you need that money, but that money isn't financial money too. Sometimes it's you have to pay yourself. And if you don't exist, you gotta know where your limit is, kind of like.
For sure. And I think like that's what this movement is, right? Of money hungry mamas. I think you just hit the nail on the head because it was the moment of, I'm going to tell you right now, when I was pregnant, I was like, oh, like I'm going to be a teacher forever. This is the best job. Like, why would I leave this? I'll be done at 3:30. I said all the things. I said all the things. And then I looked down at that tiny human that I made. And I was like, oh, I'm never leaving you. Like,
Yeah.
so what do I have to do to keep this? Because it's not going away. And I think you just hit the nail on the head of what this movement is and like where we started, because if you are listening and you're pregnant, you're gonna feel it. If the money hungry mama world is your world, it's like this indescribable feeling of I don't want to leave. So even if that means I'm working from 8 to 10 p.m. after he goes to bed, which is how I wrote the whole entire book, was when he was asleep. Actually, I have 3. When they were asleep, was 8 to 10 p.m., you will figure out a way to do it in the unconventional times while still being there for them. Like, I can't explain it. I can't make somebody want to do it. You just get it. And if you're listening, nodding like, I get it. Like,
It
you
happens.
are a money hungry mama.
I'm nodding
like,
with you too. It happens to you. And if it's right for you,
Mm-hmm.
you're not even, it doesn't feel like trying. It's just like, I'm a mom and I get to grow this thing and I love. And then I'll work while they're in school. And then sometimes, I mean, because I have to see clients, like sometimes I have to do it in the evening. Today is the first baseball practice I missed. And that's only because I didn't want to be in baseball clothes on camera. Otherwise, I could have run up from the field and made it in time. It's when I said that weird thing about the money is not always the money. It's payment in other things. It's the time. It's your presence. It's being present. It's being organically, inherently, truthfully, deeply present for your kids. I don't miss anything of theirs. And I'm still thriving. Where if I stayed in my role as an educator, which on paper makes more sense, on paper, I didn't mean that pun, makes more sense than what I do, I would miss everything. I would not be present in their life. I don't know what they would do. I don't know how they would play baseball. I don't know how they would be doing any of the things that they're doing. And I don't know what kind of life they would have because they wouldn't have a mom.
Yep. I feel that to my core. And it's like, it's so crazy because, I mean, everybody here, it's the 7-month book tour. Like the book's coming out in September. And so I'm doing these events. I went to Cali, I went to Rhode Island, and it was like, it's crazy to think about because the mom guilt didn't hit because I reminded myself all the times I am there. All the times that I am doing that. Like, yes, I didn't get to put them to bed for the 38 hours I was in Cali, but I'm fueling our next chapter. And that's how I reminded myself. Like, I missed 38 hours, but I was there for the 160 hours before that. So it's like, and it's okay. And if you need to hear that and be like, oh, like, what if I get the mom guilt? You absolutely might, but you need to remind yourself in those moments of all the things that you didn't miss. If you're missing, like, first baseball practice that you missed is to sit on this podcast. It's okay sometimes to miss things too, to get you to the next chapter and be like, well, at the end of this, we're going to go on a vacation with everything I just got from just sitting out this one time. But that's what makes this so beautiful because it could be whatever works for you. And you can't get that in a cubicle. You can't get that in front of a whiteboard. You can't get that anywhere else besides your own money hungry mama way. So
can I
love this conversation. Oh, yeah.
Not only that, but even if you get the mom guilt, when you are present, I can almost guarantee you you are giving them a better version of you. You are giving them a whole version of you, because even if you're tired from hustling, you're hustling with your heart for your drive, for your passion. You're working for them and for yourself, and not at the mercy of some other kind of thing you were doing that was draining you. They're getting a better version of you, even if you have to go on a trip or work or stay up late or get up early. The you that's present for you is the best you. It's a far better you than the another version of you that would have existed in their world.
I love it. I love that. It's so stinking true. There's nothing like, and like, listen, like it could be, I never ever want you guys to launch without having your nest egg. We know this. Like, I am not big on just jumping headfirst, and that you'll never hear me say that. I am very much like, work that 9 to 5 until you can get to the point where you're doing it.
Mhm.
That will always be what I say. But to get to that point, and when you finally do get there with that grit in the heart and the money hungry mama way, like, there's just something, and I get so emotional every time. Like, there's just something about it where you're also fueling them. You're showing them all the things that they can do, which is incredible, which is such a beautiful thing. They can do whatever they want. And that's because you're showing them they can.
Yes.
Love that. So, VanessaRose, where can our listeners support you?
Okay, so in my terrible identity of no website, because I don't have time. That's one of my pickles there. It's on the agenda. It's on the vision board. It's been there for about 4 years. Maybe I'll do it. You can find me on Instagram at pumpkinlyprince. And from there, I'm everywhere. So you can get my information, my contact information. You can send me a message. If you are a money hungry mama out there and you're just like, send me a message. We'll chat. We'll be friends. We'll talk about it. I'll talk you through it. It's whatever you're looking for. I'm there. So I'm on the Instagram. That's it. Every once in a while, you'll see my face. Mostly not so much, but sometimes. And that's really where I am. I have one central location, maybe a website. Who knows? But that's.
You don't need one in this day and age. I think social media is far enough. And there's so many like free things like that you could do, like Beehive newsletters and
All kinds of things. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Vanessa, thank you so much for being on today.
This was such a treat. I loved it so much. Thank you. Thank you again for having me. Thank you for what you're doing. You're giving a voice that needs to be out there in the world, and just let other mamas know, like, it's okay to believe in yourself. It's okay to know that you can do something for you that's better than the you that maybe you're currently sitting in. Like, your passions are allowed to thrive, and you can make something amazing out of it. So do it. Believe in yourself. So
thank you. I love this community so much, and you will see way more of VanessaRose in the free Facebook community if you would like to join over there. And hopefully I'll get her to do a webinar. We're going to talk about it now. See you guys later.